Israel is ushering in a new political era after Parliament voted in a coalition government, ending the 12-year rule of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Middle East correspondent Tom Joyner is in Jerusalem. Hello to you, Tom. The nation still remains bitterly divided over the change. So what is this new coalition promising to bring to Israel?
Well, good morning, Lisa. Well, this new coalition is made up of a broad range of political parties from right across the breadth of the spectrum here in Israel, from the left wing to the centrist, all the way to the far right. In the case of Naftali Bennett, he's the new Prime Minister, his political party, Yamina. They all really share, though, one chief commonality, and that is the desire to oust Mr. Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, as Prime Minister. Mr. Netanyahu has been Prime Minister for at least the last 12 years, making him the longest serving Prime Minister in the country's history. And it's during that time that he has grown to become a domineering figure in Israeli political life, as well as a divisive one, as you've mentioned there. This new coalition, though, and its securing of becoming the next government of Israel, also represents a hard-won escape from the political deadlock that's gripped Israel over the last couple of years. It was in March that Israelis went to the polls to vote in the latest national elections. They were the fourth since 2019, but still provided no clear path for any political party to claim victory. So that's left the country, the last few months, its politicians locked in heated negotiations to try and form some alternative government to Mr. Netanyahu's. So tonight's vote, which saw Naftali Bennett, the new Prime Minister, and his coalition sworn in as the next government of Israel, a way out of that gridlock. That vote only happened just hours ago, where Mr. Bennett, in advance of that vote, spoke as well to the Knesset, the Israeli parliament. Let's hear what he had to say.
Our government will make an effort to deepen and nurture relations with our friends in both parties. If there are disputes, we will manage them with fundamental trust and mutual respect. I hope the ceasefire in the south is maintained, but if Hamas again chooses the path of violence against Israeli civilians, it will encounter a wall of iron.
Tom, it's the end of a political era for Mr. Netanyahu, but I imagine it's not going to be the last time we see of him. What happens now with him?
It's probably not going to be the last time we see or hear of him, Lisa. Mr. Netanyahu will now move to the opposition. He'll become leader of the opposition, a position that he's previously held. He has experience in opposition, and analysts have often said how effective he is as an opposition leader. It's no doubt not the last we'll hear from him. He's in fact just today, in a speech before the vote confirming the new government earlier this evening, said that the incoming government poses an existential threat to the state of Israel, and he's vowed to spend his time in opposition trying to topple it. He's even pledged his return to the prime ministership. So I don't expect this will be the last that we'll see from Benjamin Netanyahu.
I have a message to those who are joyful in Tehran. The opposition in Israel will have a loud and clear voice, and I have another message for them just as important. We'll be back soon. We'll be back.
Tom Joyner, thank you.